First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Dozens of specialty license plates could be driving off into the sunset. Good evening, it's Friday, March 27th. I'm Jesse Pagan.
And I'm Melanie Rule. WUFT's Shannon Bajan joins us from the newsroom with news of a bill that would change the specialty plate rules of the road.
A new standard could make endangered species out of tags like play tennis, trees are cool, or visit our lights. And unless they get a special break, sports tags for Orlando Magic and Miami Marlins wouldn't make the cut either. Our cars are an expression of ourselves, and part of that expression can be in a license plate, showing support for your school, favorite cause, or favorite teams. The state of Florida offers 122 specialty tags, and more are in the works.
A plate must be renewed every 10 years. If you are 5 years into that plate, you have 5 more years left for that plate to be on your vehicle. But once that plate needs to be renewed in that 5 years, you will then have to go ahead and get a new plate.
But a bill to allow 24 more designs would also raise the stakes. Most will have to sell 4,000 a year instead of 1,000 to remain an option. These plates cost $15 to $25 annually on top of regular registration fees, raising money for universities or special causes. Drivers with a design that gets retired won't have to replace their plate until it's time to renew.
There's certain criteria they have to meet, and once they meet that criteria, included in the application to get that specialty plate, they will have to say where the funds are going to go. So again, it depends on the specialty plate.
Already existing designs will have until 2020 to reach the annual sales of 4,000 to stay on the road. Of the 122 specialty tags already on the road, only 67 currently top the 4,000 mark in sales. College plates won't have to meet that mark, but some of those designs are the most popular. The UF tag is number 1 and FSU second. Then comes the wildlife tags for sea turtles, dolphins, panthers, and manatees. Reporting from the newsroom, Shannon Bajan, WUFT News.
Thank you, Shannon. The weather's been seesawing a bit today, Melanie. We had a wet morning, then a little bit of sun, and then we kind of got wet again. So what's next?
Yeah, the weather has really been all over the place. UF forecaster Caitlin Tingham has been keeping an eye on the skies today. Caitlin, where's the rain now?
Go. We are seeing a line of showers to the northwest of Gainesville moving towards Gainesville. That'll probably be here in the next 30 minutes or so. Those are some stronger showers in Bradford and Stark counties. There's also some steadier rainfall in Ocala that's moving to the east. And that rain will also be gone by about 7 p.m. tonight. Here's a live look at the University of Florida. 70 degrees is our temperature right now, and it is fairly cloudy, but those clouds will begin to move through after 7 p.m. If you've got plans to go to the baseball game this evening, you are in the clear. Just make sure you bring a jacket, as it will be fairly cool by the 7th inning. Coming off my main weather forecast of the latest on cooler weekend temperatures. Back to you.
Ocala police are looking for 2 men who robbed a Dollar General store. Surveillance video shows the men wearing masks and entering the store with their guns raised. After getting some cash, they ran across the road and escaped on bicycles. This happened about 11 yesterday morning at the store on West Silver Springs Boulevard. If you can help solve the crime, you can call OPD directly or call Crime Stoppers at 368-STOP.
A new bathroom policy at one Florida high school has some parents and students concerned. School officials say violence and vandalism are the driving factors, but others say the solution seems extreme. Cameron Palome has more.
We're in high school. We shouldn't be babysit. We should be able to go to the bathroom.
I think that having an escort to bring you back and forth to the bathroom is some sort of invasion of privacy.
A new policy now requiring supervised visits to the bathrooms at Zephyr Hills High School has many students and parents speaking up.
It's an endangerment to their health, having to hold their bladder that long.
The bigger picture here at school is that we have safety concerns in the hallways. We have groups of students waiting outside of bathrooms and laying in wait to attack other students.
Catherine Burgess is the faculty union rep for the school. She says after looking at the problems, administrators and teachers felt the best solution was to keep a closer eye on those using bathroom breaks for ulterior motives.
Students have been made to feel as if they have rights when they are really bathroom privileges.
But some parents seem to disagree with that statement.
What they're doing is wrong. It's against their natural born rights to use a bathroom.
As the policy stands now, if a student needs to use the restroom, a teacher stops class to phone one of 5 supervisors looking over the nearly 1,500 students on campus. In front of a supportive staff, the school's principal had no sympathy for parents or students, insisting this was the right option.
I want to get input from these parents. I said, if you're that concerned, then why don't you come help us monitor the halls during class time? So I'll ask for
But after the uproar, the district superintendent is trying to shift gears.
The superintendent would like a different approach to making sure that the kids who need to be in class are in class.
The policy of needing an escort applies when kids ask to leave the classroom to go to the bathroom, not during the time between class periods or at lunchtime. School policy is for teachers to reject any request made in the first 10 minutes or the last 10 minutes of a class period. This afternoon, there is new information about the video that showed college fraternity members chanting racial slurs during a party. It happened at the University of Oklahoma, and today, the school's president released the findings of an investigation into the incident. NBC's Jay Gray has been following the story since the video surfaced. He has the latest details.
2 weeks after video surfaced of University of Oklahoma Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity members singing a racist chant, today, OU President David Bourne announced the findings of a university investigation into the incident.
Our purpose is to learn lessons and be held accountable and then move forward with our lives.
Bourne says the chant was taught to pledges as part of the formal and informal pledgeship process, and that the investigation revealed it was learned during an SAE National Leadership Conference 4 years ago.
That chant was learned and brought back to the local chapter.
The national organization has denied that the chant is part of their culture. The university shut down the chapter on campus in the wake of the controversy and disciplined more than 24 members.
It's approximately 25 additional students, and as you know, 2 students have been withdrawn from the university.
Their punishments ranging from expulsion to community service and mandatory diversity training. Levi Pettit, one of the expelled SAE members, publicly apologized earlier this week.
The words that were said in that chant were mean, hateful, and racist.
And now, Bourne says, it's time for the students involved, the university, and the nation to respond.
We can stop it if all of us, in the institutions and organizations we belong to, and all of us as individuals, say we have zero tolerance for racism in America.
A change, he insists, will be led by the University of Oklahoma. Jay Gray, NBC News, Norman, Oklahoma.
The UF Law School hosted its annual sports law symposium today. The Levin College of Law brought together sports agents, lawyers, and professors from around the country to discuss ethical issues in the sports industry. Topics range from the compensation of college athletes to gambling and fantasy sports. Among the guests was Rand Getlin, an NFL insider for Yahoo Sports. He says aspiring sports law professionals need to see how the legal issues impact lives on and off the playing fields.
So it's really the most fulfilling component of what I get to do in the capacity that I'm operating in now. You know, it's an opportunity to step away from my day-to-day work and interact with young, hungry, idealistic kids who are the future thinkers, the future, legal thinkers, scholars, etc., those who will be shaping public policy moving forward.
Today's event was sponsored by the UF Entertainment and Sports Law Society. And WUFT News is just getting started. Coming up, rescue officials are still searching for people after an explosion that rocked New York City. We'll have more on that as the fire still burns on.
And the box office has a mix of new films this week, from a jailhouse comedy to some aliens and even the chronicles of the dreaded midlife crisis. We'll have a look at your box office preview next on First at 5.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
In New York, firefighters continue pouring water on 3 collapsed buildings brought down in a gas explosion yesterday. 28 people were injured in the East Village blast, are in critical condition, and 2 people are missing. The explosion caused the facade of a 2nd Avenue apartment building to blow away, sending glass, bricks, and metal shooting across the street as people ran for their lives. City officials say construction work on gas lines and street-level sushi restaurant likely caused the blast. 150 apartments nearby have also been evacuated until inspectors can assess whether they're safe. The fire department says 2 people are still missing. One, a man who worked at the sushi restaurant, and the other, a man who was on a date eating at that restaurant.
I just want my brother to be safe. I want him to smile again. I want him to be home. There's no place like home. I know he's just as eager to see us as we are to see him.
The coworker he was dining with is being treated at a New York hospital. City officials say it could take a week for all the debris to be removed so that investigators can begin to determine what exactly caused the explosion.
On Fridays, we like to have a little fun with the latest news out of Hollywood.
WFT's Amanda Jackson joins us now. Hello, Amanda.
Hello. Well, a really popular show actually just announced its final season, but let's take a look at what's new at the box office. The film Get Hard opens in theaters this weekend, but the comedy has already been taking some hard knocks from critics who say the jokes push racial stereotypes. Filmmakers say the R-rated movie is meant to mock those stereotypes. Here's Raphael Seth with the box office preview.
I didn't do it!
It's sending you to San Quentin?
Will Ferrell goes to the pokey in Get Hard. He's a white-collar criminal sentenced to maximum security prison, so he hires Kevin Hart to prepare him for the horrors that await him in the big house, only to find out later that Hart is not the gangster thug he pretends to be. Get Hard is rated R.
My friends call me Tip. I am O.
Oh?
And Earth Girl picks up an intergalactic hitchhiker in Home. Jim Parsons is the voice of an alien who's a little too spacey for his own race, so he's banished to a little blue planet where he meets Tip, voiced by Rihanna, and the two form an unlikely friendship that may save the world. Home is rated PG.
I never thought I'd find you.
Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence go for the original American Hustle in Serena. The two-time co-stars team up again for this tale of newlyweds turned lumber barons. But when bankers try to bring their business down, Lawrence uses the secret murder playbook to keep their dreams alive. Serena is rated R.
Why do you suddenly want to hang out with a couple of 25-year-olds?
Ben Stiller goes through midlife closeness in While We're Young. He and Naomi Watts play spouses struggling with the doldrums of middle age, but when they meet young couple Adam Driver and Amanda Seyfried, some of their hipster energy rubs off, leaving the older pair with aches and pains. While We're Young is rated R. That's the box office preview. Raphael Seth, NBC News.
Get Hard did not impress the broadcast film critics who screened the film. It gets a 1 star and a 62 on their scale of 100. But the critics say you could do worse. They scored Serena a 54. Both critics and fans love the TV show Downton Abbey, but all good things must come to an end. The executive producer announced yesterday that the next season, the 6th, will also be the last. Set in early 20th century Britain, Downton Abbey highlights the class divisions of the time and the impact of social change and world events and plots filled with juicy drama. It has become one of the biggest international hits ever for British television. It's popular in China and Russia, and in the US has been setting records on PBS stations. There are no plans right now for TV spin-offs, but there are rumors of a possible movie. They're gearing up in downtown Los Angeles for Sunday night. The iHeartRadio Music Awards will be going on at the Shrine Auditorium and airing on NBC. It's the second year for this particular awards show on NBC. Most of the categories, such as Artist of the Year, are determined by the iHeartRadio charts and fan votes. Social media also comes into play for such categories as Best Fan Army. Performances are expected from Rihanna, Madonna, Jason Aldean, among others, including host Jamie Foxx. Taylor Swift expected to be there also. And Justin Timberlake will receive the show's Innovator Award. And one other note for old school country music fans, the Oak Ridge Boys and Jim Ed Brown have made the cut for the 2015 class going into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Details on that event will come out later in the year. Justin Timberlake, Taylor Swift, what are you guys most looking forward to in the award show?
I'm a huge fan of Justin Timberlake, so it'll be great to see him get his Innovator Award.
Justin, yeah, he's always pretty good. He's always a pretty good performer. I'm excited to see Rihanna, Taylor Swift, see what they're bringing to the table. I know they're cooking up something, and they're not really talking about it. So I'm wondering if they're going to give us a little preview in there or something like that. That'll be interesting, but we'll see. All right, thank you, Amanda. And having those few drops out there, as you can see, it's been a little wet, but those are part of a cold front, and that means we'll be having a cooler weekend. UF forecaster Kaylin Tingham told us earlier, we'll be going down to the 60s, Melanie.
That's right. She's in the WRUF Weather Center tracking the front. Coming up, she'll have details on how your weekend will play out. We'll be right back.
Well, it's been a rainy afternoon here in Gainesville, and that rain is going to continue for the next several hours. Welcome back. I'm your forecaster, Caitlin Tingham. But the good news is after that rain moves through, we're going to have clear skies and cooler temperature will be in place. Here's a live look at the University of Florida, 70 degrees right now, and it's very cloudy outside. We may see some rain in the next 30 minutes or so. Here's the storm track radar. There is a line of storms from Duval County all the way peeking into Alachua County. This is Duval County, Union County, and Clay County are all seeing heavy rain, and that rain is moving southeast at the current moment, and we will probably see that rain here in Gainesville in the next 30 minutes or so. There is steady and lighter rain in Alachua County, or Alachua and Marion County, all the way down south, and that rain is moving to the east. Again, most of that rain will push through by about 7 p.m. this evening. But here's your future track radar. Again, that rain moving through by midnight tonight. We're going to have clear skies, and those temperatures are going to start to fall rapidly. 51 degrees by 3 a.m. here in Gainesville, and wind tracker is back in our forecast this evening. We will have some wind chills. It's going to feel like it's 39 here in Gainesville, 40 in Ocala, and 55 in St. Augustine. So if you're planning on being out late or up early, definitely pack a jacket because those are some cool temperatures. We haven't seen temperatures this low since March 9th. Here's your lows for this evening: 42 here in Gainesville, 43 in Ocala, and 48 in Cedar Key this evening. As for Saturday's highs, it's going to warm up, but it's still going to be on the cool side. This is 10 degrees below average. 65 here in Gainesville, 67 in Ocala, and 65 in St. Augustine. It's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day outside, perfect for tennis playing or bike riding, maybe not so much for going to the beach or for hitting the pool. So here's what's happening in the big picture. We are in the middle of a trough right now, and that's pulling down cold air into our region. Now this cold snap isn't going to be long lasting. It'll probably last just until about Monday. Then we'll be in a weak ridge starting by the end of this week, and that'll help to warm up temperatures a little bit. But coming next weekend for your Easter weekend, we may see some more unsettled weather and some cooler temperatures for your Easter weekend. Just a heads up for next weekend, and we're keeping a close eye on that for next weekend. Here's your Saturday day planner. It's going to be a cool start for your morning, but there'll be plenty of sunshine. Again, maybe not warm enough to hit the beach or the pool, but definitely warm enough to be outside and enjoy all that sunshine, especially after that rain for the past couple days. It'll be a clear night as well. Clouds staying out of the forecast for the next couple days. Here is on Sunday, it'll be 67 degrees, a low of 42. Even colder on Monday, 39. We're warming up significantly. The next chance of rain is on Tuesday. If you've got pictures of your beautiful weekend, tweet us at #WeatherTogether. Back to you.
Looks like actually kind of a pretty beautiful weekend this weekend. Thank you, Caitlin. It hasn't been the smoothest of starts for the Florida baseball team this weekend, though.
The Gators were slated to open their series against the Alabama Crimson Tide, but the weather had other plans. Storms postponed the series opener, pushing it to this afternoon. When we come back, WUFT sports anchor George Perez will take us inside Gator sports and more.
Welcome back to sports. I'm George Perez. Well, the weather here in Gainesville has been a little less than stellar the last few days, and last night, Ray decided to push last night's series opener to earlier today. So as in the words of Ernie Banks, let's play two. The 5th-ranked Gators welcoming the Crimson Tide. Originally, the game was slated to begin at 3 p.m., but surprise, surprise, that was pushed back to 3:40. Currently, the Gators lead 4-2 in the 5th inning, which included a home run by freshman catcher Mike Rivera. The second game is set to start 40 minutes after this one. The 3rd-ranked Gator softball team opens a road series for the second straight weekend tonight in Starksville against Mississippi State. The 3-game set marks the team's first meeting since the 2013 season. Despite taking the series against the Alabama Crimson Tide last weekend, the Gators' bats have struggled. Florida batted .216 on the series, a drop from their .304 average on the season. Gator head coach Tim Walton says that it all comes down to confidence at the plate.
Hitters to go up there with confidence and not to fear failure, not to fear getting out, and be resilient, be able to bounce back from one strike to another, from one at bat to another, from one game to another.
First pitch for the series is set for a little over an hour from now. Prior to their matchup against the undefeated Kentucky Wildcats, West Virginia freshman guard Daxter Miles was quoted saying, "Salute to them for getting up 36-0, but tomorrow they're going to be 36-1. They're going to be 36-1. Unfortunately, Miles added fuel to a forest fire. Like a massive unstoppable blue wave, Kentucky hit quickly and just kept coming. Trey Lyles scored 14 points, Andrew Harrison added 13, and the unbeaten Wildcats, chasing history and a 9th national title, made their 37th straight win look easy, blowing past the Mountaineers 78-39. Other teams in action last night, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, and Arizona all won, advancing to the Elite Eight. And don't you worry, there are 4 more games on the slate for tonight. Starting with the South region, top-seeded Duke takes on Utah in the first of the late games. And surprising UCLA will take on 2nd seed Gonzaga with the first game of the night at 7:15. In the East region, looking to go from sweet to elite, we have NC State taking on Louisville. Plus, Tom Izzo-led Michigan State looks to upset 3rd seed Oklahoma, the winners in the East, and South will meet on Sunday. Well, they say alligators can swim up to 20 miles an hour in the wild, but in a pool, Florida Gators are the fastest. Florida's men's swimming and diving team is currently in Iowa City looking for their 3rd NCAA national championship. One big piece, freshman Caleb Dressel. Dressel winning a national championship in the 50-yard freestyle swim. His time not only broke a Florida school record, but was 1/100th of a second from a national record. The championships continue through Saturday, where the Gators currently sit 3rd overall. And in a move reported yesterday, junior guard Michael Frazier II officially announced that he would be leaving the University of Florida to enter the NBA draft. Frazier took to Twitter less than an hour ago to thank his coaches, teammates, and fans for their support. He also mentioned his intention to return for his degree during summer semesters. Frazier is projected as a 2nd-round pick. And guys, sticking to the NBA, it was announced earlier today that Kevin Durant would be undergoing his 3rd surgery on a foot injury.
Wow, with Kevin Durant out for the season, how does that affect his team's chances for the playoffs?
Well, the Oklahoma City Thunder are in the 8th seed in the Western Conference, so they're fighting for that last playoff spot. It could be a big issue for them.
George, how are they looking so far in that fight? Will they make it?
There's a lot of great teams in the West. Everyone always says the champion's normally going to come from the West. When you lose a reigning MVP, it's tough to come back from that.
Gotcha, George. I guess we'll just have to kind of keep an eye out for that, right? All right, thanks, George. We'll have tons of more news after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Tonight on WUFT News at 6, local reaction to the suspected pilot suicide in the Germanwings disaster. You'll also get a complete update on that story during the PBS NewsHour at 7 o'clock. The producers tell us tonight's show will be action-packed.
A 92-year-old is making bowling history. Sylvester Thiel is a competitive bowler, and after 7 decades, he's becoming somewhat of a legend. Since the mid-1900s, Thiel has been tearing up lanes all around the country. Despite 26 perfect games as a claim to fame, he will now be known for his longevity. Thiel stands as one of only 3 men to bowl in the USBC Open Championship for 7 decades. He also plans to attend next year's championship in Reno.
A complete legend in his own right. 92 and playing like that. That's intense. Wow. And before we go, let's get one last check on that weather.
Here's Caitlin in the Weather Center.
But we are still seeing this line of showers that's moving southeast, and we'll probably begin to see some of those showers here in Gainesville within the next 30 minutes. Clay County, Union County, and Duval County are all experiencing heavier rain showers, and there is some steadier, lighter rain in Ocala and Marion County, but that'll clear out by about 7 p.m. this evening. Temperatures behind this cold front are much cooler, in the 40s on Saturday and Sunday, 39 by Monday, warming up by Monday. Back to you.
Thanks, Caitlin, and thank you at home for watching WFT News First at 5.
BBC World News is next, followed by WFT News at 6. And your local news is always on at WUFT.org. Good night.
Good night.